What's good, y'all? Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to another episode of ShookFocuz. And in this one, we got an article about some potential market actions and conditions that may ensue should a Bitcoin ETF get approved, man. This one I find very interesting. But without further ado, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to bring the news. Let's get to it. All right, so we got here an article written by Helen Parts, right? ARK's Cathie Wood sees short-term effect of spot Bitcoin ETF as sell-on news. ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood expects some investors to sell on the news of spot Bitcoin ETF approval in the short term, but the long-term perspective is promising. Very interesting, looking like, hey, we're going to get this approval, but then we expect some people to sell. Right, but long term would be alright. Let's move on into this thing here, man. What do y'all think about this image? Now, I've looked at this image a couple times, right? Because I've read this article through fully at least once because I failed in my first take. But this image to me, right? After looking at it a few times, I'm seeing, right, Bitcoin is swooping in, right? Maybe this represents the Bitcoin ETF. Hey, I'm here to help out Bitcoin, right? Or I'm here to save Bitcoin, right? Because it's got the angel wings, but I mean, Bitcoin itself has got wings, so maybe not, right? But it's all painted as like a good thing. It's got the blue here, right? That generally means good, right? And then, but then over here, as we get over here to the right side of the picture, it's like red, right? Almost like the title and header here on this article is like, hey, things are gonna be great, but there's gonna be some bad things behind it. So, and this right here actually makes me think something a little more extreme, but y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. I'm not gonna say what I thought that was right there, but y'all let me know what y'all think. If somebody call out in the comments though, I will definitely laugh about it. I ain't gonna add that. Let's get into the article, man. Growing anticipation around the potential approval of spot Bitcoin ETF exchange traded funds, or ETFs, could negatively impact the Bitcoin price in the short term, according to ARK Invest CEO. So, Cathie Wood, founder, CEO, and chief investment officer of ARK Invest, believes that some investors are likely to sell on the news once a spot Bitcoin ETF is approved by securities regulators in the United States. Wood expects that some investors will not want to miss the opportunity to take some profits, as there has been a big anticipatory move based on the expectation of potential approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF. She said in an interview with Yahoo Finance on December 26th. Now, I believe this is she also did this on video, right? So, I believe you can go find the video of this. But those who have been moving in and enjoying some nice profits will probably sell on the news. That's an expression that traders use. So you anticipate the event, beat up the price, and then sell on the news. Let's say that again. So you anticipate the event, beat up the price, and then sell on the news. So a lot of things to pull from that whole quote. One, those who have been moving in and enjoying some nice profits will probably sell on the news. I pointed out in one of my recent community posts that like VeChain, for example, is up like 120 or 30% or something like that if you look at it from a 1 year time span. Right? Like, so like crypto has kind of been going up. So people have been getting profits, right? And then even as recently, right, we talk about VeChain, had a nice little recent pump. But so people have been enjoying profits, right? And now it's like, hey, there's an event coming up. So you beat up the price, a bunch of people start buying, and right, the price gets jacked up a little bit higher than it probably should be. And then you sell on the news, or maybe not higher than it should be, right? But sending it up and then selling on the news, right? So very interesting indeed. And that, right, and that sell on the news would cause a red market. Anyway, and this is something to take with you, right? If you knew, right, when when a lot of people sell, the markets go red, right? So if you ever see the markets are crazy red and you wonder why, you know, figure out who sold. Moving on. While the short-term impact of potential spot Bitcoin ETF approval could be associated with some investors selling, the long-term perspective is promising and more important, according to Wood. That would be very short-term, because what we think is going to happen here is that the SEC is going to be giving the spot Bitcoin ETF the green light for institutional investors to participate. Once approved, a spot Bitcoin ETF will become one of the easiest ways for institutions to access Bitcoin, allowing them to allocate a small portion of trillions of dollars in assets to Bitcoin, the ARK CEO believes. According to Wood, Bitcoin's price would move significantly if institutional investors put at least 0.1 or 0.2% of their assets into Bitcoin, which has a supply cap of 21 million coins. Wood's ARK Invest is one of the 14 firms that have filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. ARK Spot Bitcoin ETF, the ARK 21 Shares Bitcoin ETF, is developed in collaboration with the European crypto exchange-traded product provider 21 Shares. In her latest interview, Wood noted that these spot Bitcoin ETF discussions with the SEC have been very positive, adding more optimism about the potential of the first spot Bitcoin ETF or ETFs being approved by January 10th. Something did change within the last month to 6 weeks, Wood stated, adding that the SEC has changed its approach to the Bitcoin ETF reviews from silent denials to asking thoughtful, detailed technical questions. According to Wood, that's a very positive move that has led to fruitful dialogue with the SEC. I think the outlook is bright for a spot Bitcoin ETF, and we do think it will be in January, Wood stated. So, very interesting there. My thoughts on it, to give you my thoughts on it, we'll take a quick peek at this ARK 21 Shares collaboration over here on the 21 Shares website. So, 21 Shares, your crypto native and actively managed ETFs. 21 Shares and ARK join forces to deliver a compelling digital asset ETF suite, leveraging on-chain signals in our crypto native experience. The suite aims to deliver long-term capital appreciation through strategic investments in Bitcoin and Ethereum futures contracts and the application of blockchain technologies. Right? So this is a platform built out for ETFs. So there's some tickers for a couple of these here. Active Bitcoin futures strategy. Active on-chain strategy. Interesting. So it looks to me like this is being built out here. This is not something you do. This is a lot of just-in-case work. We'll put it that way. So, right, we know crypto is global, right? And there's, ETFs elsewhere, but this is a lot of just-in-case work, if you ask me. So my thoughts are it's probably like a foregone conclusion that this thing is going to get approved. When is it going to get approved? Who knows? But it sounds like they're ready to say early January. I'm willing to bet that it will. when you have this many folks who've basically come out and put their neck on the line, not that anybody ever holds any of them accountable, but when they come out and said it, right, it's probably a foregone conclusion at this point. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. But you let me know what you think. Y'all think it's going to get approved, man? Y'all think it's going to be approved by January 10th? Do you think it will not be approved at all? Do you expect that it will be? Do you think it will be late January? What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think? What are y'all thoughts on this article in general? And we'll end this one with a question. Do you think that Cathie Woods is on to something here? Do you think that we are going to pump into the ETF approval and then have a dump or a sell-off? Or do you think we're going to get the ETF approval and then sky's the limit all of 2024? You know what my answer is? Psych, not going to do that. Until next time, don't get shook. Stay focused. I'm out.